and I welcome you here to my first session of my weekly analysis. So this week I'm going to be talking about three pairs that I'm going to be looking at for the new week, and most of the time I do my analysis during the weekend, which I share on my TradingView account. So for this week, we are going to be looking at GBPJPY, GBPCHF, and CHFJPY. And the first one I will be talking about is CHFJPY and what are my expectations on CHFJPY. First off, based on the reversal pattern I identified on my daily chart, I'm looking at a downward trend on this pair. So what did I see that made me conclude that I will be selling this pair during the course of the week? So first of all, I move to my daily chart. Let me just clear this. On my daily chart, the first thing I notice is that since on the 20th of September, the Swiss franc has been on a bullish momentum, and since price hit 125.500 on the 2nd of November, which is earlier this month, we have experienced a lower lows, lower high, which still finding a support around this particular area around 123.600. And if you look at this, I see a breakout of a previous resistance which have been holding price since June. And if you notice, as soon as price hit 120.9, 12100 zone, it keeps rejecting it. The same thing happened in July, and the first week of August, so the same thing happened. But on the 8th of October, we had a successful breakout, which was very emphatic, and since then price had been moving up into 125.500. Now, my obvious belief is that we might be experiencing a correction phase at the moment. And why have I said that? And if you notice, if you go down to um, the, the 1 hour chart, you will notice that since price found peak, I don't we have witnessed a downward trend, which is still holding within this downward channel. Now, what do we need to do to take an advantage of this? How do we take an advantage of this structure? Like I have said earlier, 123.400 is a support level that has been holding price since when? Since mid-October, and now we are right at the same level during the close of last week trading session. And with the appearance of a reversal pattern at this peak, which looks like a head and shoulder pattern, allow me to give you a picture of this reversal pattern that I see. Head and shoulder, though it's yet to be confirmed, because we are yet to see a breakdown of the neckline of this head and shoulder to confirm the bearish momentum. So for the week, I'm going to be looking for a breakdown of 123.500. I'll be looking for a breakdown. It's possible to take an outright breakdown or wait for a retest before price move further down into this level. So that's around a minimum of 250 pips thereabout that we can catch with. However, I would like to say here that it is possible that we first of all experience something like this up to 125 124.5 before the decline begins. So I will advise that we remain conscious and be on standby for any surprises. In summary, what are my expectations on CHFJPY? I am expecting a 123.400 breakdown to take an advantage of this, and I'm aiming at the 121 area to take my profit on this one. So during the course of the week, I will be sharing the latest development on this pair during the course of the week. So moving on, let's move on to GBPJPY. What are my expectations on GBPJPY for this week? I am actually expecting a bullish momentum on this one. And why is that? So going on to our chart, I'm having this. Okay. Going on to my daily chart. The first thing I observe on this daily chart is this move. This move. This move. This move. That's the first thing I'm observing on this, and this tells me a lot about this market. One, we had an impulse leg that started on the 1st of October and ended on the 20th of October at around 158.200. So my first instinct is that since hitting 158 level, price declined, and that to me is a sign that we're actually going through a correction phase. And we'll be expecting a trend continuation from probably a 618 or a 786 retracement to take advantage of this rally. So that being said, I will be looking at an area around this zone to take advantage of the buy opportunity in the coming week. Now, why are we choosing this? Like I said, the 618 retracement, it's more convenient for me to do that, considering the fact that we had a supply zone around this area before the breakout happened. We had a supply zone around this area before the breakout happened, and if you notice, you see there are selling pressures. We experience sell pressure around here, here, then here, before we saw the successful breakout that happened. So the breakout of this zone that happened on the 8th of October. Now price has come back to that same area where was previously a supplication area. So what I'll be looking at is this. One, we can't negate the fact that price could go a little bit lower, probably into 151, before we start seeing signs that we want to we will be gaining a bullish momentum. However, should price not go that down, the only way I can take advantage of this is going to a lower time frame, let's say 2 hours. Let's see what's happening on the 2 hours chart. And if we go to our 2 hours chart, I noticed a key level around 153, which I'll be drawing shortly with a purple rectangle. I normally like using my line chart to determine my key level, and here it is. We have, let me color this with let's say purple to make it more glaring to the eyes. So right now we having something like a reversal pattern building up here, and that's my head and shoulder pattern forming behind the scenes on 2 hours time frame. And if you look at this, it's it's it becomes glaring that we are probably reversing the previous leading price action. So what I will be doing here is this: I will be waiting for a breakout of 153 level to the upside, take an advantage of that, and if I finally have a correction, a rejection of this level, then I could add a position and leave my trade running through the course of the week. So that is my view on this pair. However, if it happens that price breaks down 152.400, then I will suggest that we hold on all bullish perspective and see how price reacts below this level to see if we should still have our bullish momentum in the books, or we are swinging for a downtrend from this junction in the market. So that being said, I would be moving on to GBPCHF. GBPCHF. On GBPCHF, I am having a bullish bias on GBPCHF, and why is that? I cited a reversal pattern building up on my 4 hours chart in the form of a double bottom, which to me is a very strong reversal pattern. However, if we go to our daily chart, you will agree with me that this is a downtrend. Why is that? We're having a lower high, which also with a breakdown of this level to the downside. But if you look at this critically and using my line chart, like I told you, I prefer using my line chart to discover precise key levels on my chart. So this is a key level for me. Let me put it at 1.25 thousand. Why am I doing that? This is a very strong psychological level where, as human beings, we always tend to bargain using round figures in every aspect of our lives. So that being said, identifying that key level at 1.2500 on my daily chart, and also identifying a rejection of 1.22800 level. I normally like doing my rectangles green for demand zones, and it is obvious that as soon as price touches 1.2300, we normally have a rejection. We experience a rejection, and this has been happening since the beginning of this month. Now, finding a double bottom at this level, remember I said that on a long-term perspective, this is a bearish momentum. However, in a bearish momentum, within this bearish momentum, the last 4 weeks, we had what I'm going to identify here as a very strong impulse leg, a very strong impulse leg. Let me, so that from this point, from 1 to 1.27500 to 1.227, we had a very strong impulse leg, which emphasizes the bearish momentum in this market. However, for every impulse leg, there is always a correction that's going to happen one time or another. So in this place now, this moment right now, with the rejection of 1.23 on two occasions within the same month of November, to me that is a sign that looking we might be anticipating a correction into probably this key level before the the decline finally happens, before sellers can finally break down 1.2300. Or we could have a breakout move respecting this trend line, and before we finally have something like a breakdown below this, then finally go down lower lows. So that being said, since I'm only looking for an opportunity for this week, we can easily budget something like 100 pips minimum target for this week by going to our 4 hours chart or 3 hours chart to see where to enter and take advantage of this counter trend. Now, on our 3 hours chart, for instance, I identified a breakout of a downward movement. Where is my line chart? Okay. See, we had a breakout of this this bearish trend line around this area, at least during the last day of the month of last week trading session. So we had the breakout of this trend line, indicating that we might be on the verge of a bullish momentum. So how do I want to take advantage of the buy opportunity on this chart? Looking at this chart critically, I have identified a level around 1.23600 using my my line chart. Okay, I think it's 1.235 instead. I prefer a psychological level. Like I said, it's always appropriate that we choose psychological levels, since we have human beings trading this market, and definitely human beings tend to think in round figures when bargaining or doing transactions. So I think I should let me give this a purple color so that we can know what I'm talking about. So finally we have a breakout of this 1.23500. So if I am going to take an advantage of this, I'll be looking at buying above this level, where we are setting take profits around this area 1.25 under psychological level, with my stop loss around this area to, so that's like 1 ratio 2.8 for this trade. That being said, let's look forward to the new week with high hopes and good and positivity. And by Wednesday, I will be sharing how the market actually went and what we need to do if its market wasn't going the way we expected it to. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe and click the like button. You can support me with the subscribe and click the like button. And if you have suggestions, additions, or constructive criticism, kindly drop a comment below. Thank you very much for watching, and do have a wonderful and profitable week ahead. Once again, my name is Sheriff Daramola. Happy Sunday.